not a witch, I'm your wife.
What movie?
Princess Bride.
Oh, nice. What's that?
Not a witch, I'm your wife.
That's Danny or Billy Crystal.
That's his wife in the movie.
It's his wife, right? So, was she played by like Rhea Perlman?
I don't know. But I just love that like husband and wife banter of that those two characters. I mean, they have such a short part in the movie, but
They stick
out to me. They're just so funny and so old.
For years, I always say, company.
Yes. That is such a great movie.
I watched it with my nephew a little bit. Plane ride to
Yeah. I used to have a lot of Breakfast Club quotes, movie line quotes in my head.
So you're playing, so like, if you want to go play more and do another favorite quote of yours, you can go.
Well, I can't remember those anymore because it's been so long, but I used to watch Breakfast Club like a lot.
You loved the era of like, these were the same films we loved growing up. You were so much younger. What was it?
I don't know, because a lot of movies I've missed out on because my mom was really like, no PG-13 movies until you're 13 and et cetera, et cetera. So I was sheltered in a lot of movies, but then some of them
So that's how
I
you
got
fell
away
upon
with.
some of these 80s movies because you didn't have nearly as many to choose from, so you're like, what other good movie? Okay, here's one.
When I was in high school, that's when I watched Breakfast Club like all the time. I used to like have that whole movie, like I could say all the words as I was watching it because I had a friend who that was her favorite movie, so we watched it all the time. So that, and then so on a totally different side of that is the movie Underworld. Like Underworld, the vampire werewolf, ridiculous movie. Like we watched those equally. So that was like an interesting mix.
Welcome once again to Student of Life, the game show. Student of Life, the game show contest 20.
That conversation about movies from the 80s took place outside a music venue in West Asheville. And next up we meet Bill while looking at a waterfall in Averycreek.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is almost like opposite of, like I don't use it, it just really annoys me, is on fleek, or you probably get a lot of people that say, yeah, I've been saying on fleek, it's really cool. But that just annoys me to no end. And I'm pretty sure that just means it's like you're on point, you're in style, but it just sounds really dumb to me.
And then use it in a sentence.
This trail is really on fleek. Where we are right now, we're at a waterfall, probably on the lower side of Averycreek. It's really pretty waterfall. Only about 10 feet or so, but it was really inviting because from up the top of the trail, I looked down here and I was like, I want to swim in that hole. But now that I'm here, maybe it's not deep enough, but...
I think it is.
It is it? Yeah.
Yeah, because I was sitting up there eating and looking down, I was like, man, you could swim in that thing.
Yeah. But, so... those little features of the waterfall where it's almost like cups where it's flowing down, that reminds me of a story I'll tell. So when me and my wife, I think we've been together about 9 months or so, we went out to California and we were doing a hike, and this is still like one of the most gorgeous places I've ever been. First part of the hike, we went up into the sequoias, and giant monstrous trees, and it was really gorgeous. And we were like only a handful of people that we found around there. And then on the way back, I was trying to do there's a waterfall that all I knew about it was in this biking book. It said, go down this trail because it's like one of the most spectacular waterfalls you ever see. I don't even think it had a name to it. And we're driving around, and I think I find the trail or the road that it says to go down, but it's fenced off. Like all of a sudden now it's private property, you can't get there. But we really wanted to see this waterfall, so we figured out which creek or river that went down to it, and just followed it down, and it was the most gorgeous waterfall. Like, it looked like, it reminds me of those little cups, but they were big enough where you could sit in them and look up taller than this waterfall. You're like looking up. It looks like there's this big pool of granite, and it looks like God just took like a biscuit cutter and went.
Little seats for humans to sit down.
And it made these little cascades that went about from there, and then there was another one down here, and then it went off at least 100 feet, and then just a valley below, and it was gorgeous.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
And I don't even know if I could find it again if I tried to, but it was amazing. We were the only people there. We hung out there for probably about being out here, just getting out into nature like this is just so important, and it's one of the things that really kind of led to me turning my life around. Getting into mountain biking, and then getting back more into nature, where I was smoking a pack of cigarettes a day, drinking way too much, doing way too many drugs, and this was one of the things that I fell in love with, but it was like biking, but it was diametrically opposed to that other lifestyle that I had. I was literally like smoking cigarettes on the way to go ride my bike, and first got involved in a race. And so that helped me quit. And then beyond that, it still took me a while to calm down. And I'm still, I enjoy drinks, I enjoy smoking pot, but I'm not doing near what I was doing before. And finding my wife, who was in love with this kind of stuff too, really helped me turn shit around and be who I am today. And I think there's a lot of healing in places like this that people should be out here and experience. So like 90s, 2000 punk rock, like No Effects, Pennywise, bands like that.
What's it about that music you like? Do you still like it?
Yeah. I got into it. Like, what attracted to me as a kid was the aggression. Like, you have a lot of angst and aggression when you're a teenager, and but then and it was also fun because being into punk rock was part of a community. So we would all go to shows, and we would get into mosh pits and beat the crap out of each other. But it was a lot of fun, and we would all be in our own bands, and so it was more than just listening to music. It was like your own. I don't know what I would want to call it. Like, I don't want to.
Subculture?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
What were you about to not want to call it?
Community, but that's actually a good word for it.
Right.
And then.
But it didn't feel right.
Right.
So when I popped out subculture, you're like, yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say the other word.
Yeah.
And I just made you say it.
Yeah, thanks. You've been doing this a while, haven't you?
Not really.
Did you know that at the Bonnaroo Music Festival, they purposely set up the camping sites to confuse people? Here's an example.
We got to Bonnaroo, I guess, in the evening of Thursday night, and our friends we were camping with had already gotten there, set up camp. So we couldn't park where we were camping. We had to park and then walk. They were tripping on acid. They were not able to communicate with us. They texted us earlier in the day and told us where the camp spot was. So we were trying to meet up with Ben's sister and her boyfriend. And Ben was doing the talking. I had no reason to be on the phone with either of them. And in Bonnaroo, if you've ever been, it's organized somewhat, and they have streets and names, and it's like Blueberry Lane or Shakedown Street or whatever. And Ben's taking directions and calling out all these crazy things to me. And the last thing I remember before we were actually finally able to find them was he had us looking for 2nd Left Street. And he ended up getting into it with them because he looked like an idiot and swore that Jake told him, we were looking for 2nd Left Street. Not the second left from where we were, but 2nd Left Street.
Next up is Nicole. I met Nicole at the Charlotte airport right before our flight to Las Vegas, and we talked some basketball and dogs and other stuff.
I mean, when I was young, when I was like maybe, I want to say 7 or 8, I have 2 older brothers and a younger sister. I was outside with my brother. He was on a bike, and I don't know what happened, but basically my finger got caught in the bike chain when I was 7, and it like chopped up like a piece of my finger. And then they sewed it, well, they obviously had to sew it back in, but it took me an hour, I remember, to get to the hospital. I think that was like the craziest part when I was like 7.
Did the finger actually come off? Like, was it?
No, it's actually this finger.
Okay, but I mean,
Yeah,
was
it looks
part of,
weird, but-
was it off? Or
Yeah, it was like, well, it was
completely
like
detached or
hanging by like a tendon,
Oh.
like legit hanging. Like,
Jeez.
yeah.
And so now it's like a little crooked.
Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, it's been like this ever since. But at least it's not my ring finger, so I don't really care.
We are at an airport. Our flight is delayed. It was supposed to be at 8:30, right? 8:30. Now it's 9:30. A lot of people were upset. I'm not that bad about it, as long as we get there safe.
Did you see people freaking out?
Well, I heard people upset.
What was some of the, give a little rendition?
Like calling their like families up, saying that they're gonna be an hour late, change their plans, this and that. I mean, I'm gonna be late and I'm gonna miss a couple things, but as long as I get there safe, since this is my first flight, I really don't care. If I had like a crazier itinerary, I would probably be just as upset, but I'm okay.
What are you gonna miss?
What's up?
What are you gonna miss?
What am I gonna miss? I think they're having like some dinner in some fancy place. I don't even know where we're meeting up. I know it's just I'm going to the place and I'm just gonna wait until whoever gets there.
Nice.
Yeah.
You guys staying at a fancy hotel?
Oh no, we're doing I think Airbnb
cool.
actually, because there's a bunch of girls.
College friends? school.
Some are college, some are from basketball, some are her friends, but like we all like know each other. Someone knows somebody.
So you played basketball in high school with this girl?
Yes. Well, not on my high school team, but I played like a separate, like, I want to say Asian league with her. She introduced me to like this Asian league. It's called Naba. I don't know. You've probably never heard of it.
I don't know.
Jason Kidd, when he was on the Nets.
Jason King?
Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd, yeah.
Jason Kidd, when he was on the Nets.
And tell me why.
Because I've always played a point guard my whole life, and his just like basketball IQ and his just capability just always like wowed me. So I always loved him.
Yeah. And they compare the Lakers rookie to him. Like the way he plays. Like his passing ability.
Yeah.
And I guess he pushes it like him, right?
Yeah, he's. I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna be on par to him.
I feel like Kidd changed the game a little bit in that the way he pushed it so furiously, so fast, and it was like out of control almost. And you're like, wow, why is he going so fast? Like he's gonna lose the ball.
He was
But he
amazing
didn't.
to watch.
And then since then, it's like now that's the game. Like everyone tries to push that fast.
Yeah, it's not a slow pace. It's a faster pace, but it's like a softer pace. Like there's like a comparison.
I love the game right now. I think I love it.
You do?
I love
all
the way.
threes and everything. I liked it back in the day when it was like raw and like you could sense like the animosity
you're a Knicks
between the
fan. You're a
teams.
Knicks fan.
Yeah, that's fair. It might have been. Anyway,
But no, my favorite player ever is LeBron.
are you kidding?
Yeah. Why do you think that's so? Sorry about that. Why do you think that's so strange?
It's not strange. It's just
A lot of people love. But we're talking about favorites here, not necessarily the best player. So
Okay, fine.
your favorite player, you said Jason Kidd, and then you had one more for me.
And
was
Allen
it?
Houston.
Oh, Allen Houston. Oh, that's cool.
That's a New Yorker.
Yeah,
I love him.
he was good.
I wish I could shoot like him because his jump shot was like so textbook. That's why.
Yeah.
I know his
He would
form
be
was
so.
perfect.
He would square up perfectly,
He
right?
would be ideal. That would be my ideal form if I could ever. If I had like 8 more inches on me.
So, yeah, Allen Houston and Jason Kidd, huh? It's interesting. I like that.
I used to like LeBron until I don't know. I just didn't
The
like him
decision or
after he
something?
left. Yeah, and then wanted to come back, and then wants to go to different teams. I mean, I understand why you wanted to do it, but
Who's your favorite current player? Both those guys are old.
current player. Boyfriend's gonna hate me for saying this, but I do love watching Steph Curry. He's probably my favorite right now. I mean, Porzingis is the best on the Knicks that I like to watch.
Yeah.
I like to watch Steph
Yeah.
because he's just like, I don't know, amazing, just unpredictable, and how deep that he can shoot is just. I thought that, you know, having a dog was fun and like, you know, be a breeze and all that stuff. He's a Chihuahua.
So did you like tell people this though? Were you like going around being like, I'm gonna get dogs, he's so easy?
Yeah, and everyone was telling me, no, don't do it. It's like having a baby. I was like, no, I got it. I could do it. Like, I was in college and I was like, you know, I want a dog. I want to take care of him. And like, I brought him home. Well, I brought him to my dorm. Oops. Well, whatever. Brought him to my dorm and I kept him. We weren't allowed to have pets at my dorm. But I mean, he was there for like a day or two, and then
Was there any nervous times when he was like barking and you're shush?
I had to put like the volume up on my computer for like music to just like drown it out. But it was really tough because I would just have to run home after class, or run to the apartment after class, and then go back to class and leave him, and then in class I would just like constantly think about him, like, is he okay? What is he doing? Yeah, it's a lot. And then like I brought him home. My parents didn't want him in my house, so I told him like I was just watching him for a little bit for my friend. My dad didn't like him because he wasn't a guard dog, you know, because he's like this small.
So you told your parents this little white lie.
Yeah. And 8 years later, he's still
Your parents
there.
are like, man, you are really
Your friend
taking care
never
of your...
came, yeah.
Dad, he's coming. My friend's still coming. Don't worry.
Flight's delayed. Yeah.
And so you still have the dog.
Yeah. So I mean, he's the best. I mean, I don't have any kids or anything, but he's the best thing that's happened to me. Like, I don't know, the companionship you have and the love you have from a dog or a pet in general, just like, you can't beat it. Like, I don't think any human interaction can really beat that, because that's like 100% loyalty, you know. Like, even if you're like mad at him for doing something, he'll still like come back to me, like, you know, no second thoughts. I don't know. A lot of people don't like my topic on, my take on dogs, like dog commercials, you know, like animal commercials versus like other commercials. Like, I get sympathetic for the dog one, more sympathetic for the dog one.
And to close out today's program, we get a ride home from a concert in West Asheville from a lovely couple.
Vienna sausages. Vienna. I call them Vienna.
This sounds better. This sounds fun.
Well, Vienna sounds fancier. Trying to fancy up canned sausages.
They're
like,
so gross. I don't think I could eat them after feeding them to Rascal all the time.
Yeah, that would gross me out. I don't know any better. Don't ruin it for me.
So I've been trying to like be a little bit more sober sometimes going to shows, just to like actually pay attention to what's going on. It's not good.
Nice.
So explain that. Like tonight.
Drink a bunch.
Like how'd it go tonight?
It went well.
Like
I got tired at that. I've been sleeping all day, but yeah, it's just a nice kind of change up for me.
What do you like about it?
Just being more involved in the music.
I mean specifically this music tonight.
Oh, what did I like about it?
Yeah.
I like liked that it, like it's the, like what I was saying about is the genre of music, like that jam bandy with there was a little bit of blues guitar sound in it, and then a little bit of rock, and I really like that combination. It's the kind of music I like.
Yeah, but I thought it was nice too. What's that?
Is that the guy that just got on the highway is riding the lights on?
Oh, really?
I
And then that taxi drove by, didn't have one light, and this car up here doesn't have one light.
saw like 4 padiddles in a row the other day.
Padiddles?
When they have one light out.
Dude, yeah.
Is it this turn?
Yeah, but you could just kind of, yeah. But, I mean, unless you want to turn around up in there.
I know, we gotta get, you're on my way home.
Oh, true.
Convenient.
Convenient.
Only $5.
That was a good Uber ride. Thanks, guys. It was great hanging out.
You too.
See ya.
See you guys soon.
Yeah, I'll give you a shout tomorrow if you want to go hiking. I mean, we don't even got to go early.
Yeah, I mean, we'll either do that or maybe we'll just get up early on Sunday and really do it. And all three of us could do it maybe if we get up early
I
enough.
just have to be back by 5:30.
If you'd be up for doing that, we could do that then too. I could take you all to that awesome place. All right, thanks again, y'all. Appreciate it so much.
Bye, night.
Bye, guys.
Well, there you have it, folks. Another well-played match of Student of Life, the game show.